you're one of those fighters that every time you get into the cage, I'm excited to see what stand-up you're going to bring. I mean, every time I watch you, those eyes are as big as plates in the cage. But before we get there, where did it all start for you? How did you get into fighting as a young man?
Yeah, thanks. Actually, I'm born in the family. Oh, I'm only boy. Yeah, my uncle, he used to be a world champion in boxing. And then, in 10 years old, I was going to school. It was a lady who beat me at school.
Okay.
Yeah, she beat me at school. And then my mother came to fetch me at school. My mother, she was like, how come a lady beat you in school? Because my mother, she used to beat men.
Okay.
Yes, and my mother, she's the one who took me on the sports. I started with judo in 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah, back ago, longer back ago. And I started judo for 7 years. In 1997, and I started boxing. In boxing, I started fighting for our national team for 5 years. I was boxing. I have 37 boxing fights, 31 amateur, all the one it's professional, and I win all the professional via knockout. And then 2007, I fly to South Africa. It's my mother because she was living here. We have our own house in Benoni. My mother, she was living here because she was doing business. It's where I came here. And then after that, the time I came here because I finished my university. I'm an accountant, but I never work for what I studied. My work is only fighting. Yeah, that's why you see the time I arrived here in 2007, I started MMA in 2009. I started with Paul Kitman on his gym here in Pretoria. But basically, I come here to do boxing, and then the plan just changed, and the gym, they was focused on MMA. They just changed me, and then I started fighting amateur. I fought 9 amateur. I win 8 via knockout. I lost 1. And from there, I fought K1.
Okay.
I fought K1, 3 K1 fights. I lost 1, I win 2 professional K1. And then from there, in 2011, I get my license of MMA. It's where I started EFC in 2013. My first fight was against Boyd Allen.
So just talk to me about the change. I mean, you started with judo, which is very much a grappling art.
Yes.
Then you went to the more striking arts of boxing and K1. How tough was it for you to get the wrestling and the grappling part to get into the MMA and make sure that becomes a solid part of your fight game?
No, you know, MMA on those kind of things was so tough. If you see on my first fight, like the first, the second, the third one, I was struggling because of wrestling and grappling. And then my problem was just to know how to defend, and from there, because I like stand-up, I don't like to fight to the ground. But because it's MMA, sometimes that's happening, which means you need to train for all of them. And then I start training wrestling here in Melo Park, where there's national team of South Africa training wrestling. Each way I learn my wrestling with Coach Jack Russell. Each way I learn my wrestling, and I started to do BJJ because I go to a lot of gym for learning. That's why you see now my grappling is not 100%, but it is better for defending. I can even submit. Right now we have the good coach on BJJ. That is I don't know how to say. People who they'll see me, they'll see if they take me to the ground, I'll show them flames. They'll see another Anicet with grappling, with everything. Because my grappling now, it's 100%, it's almost 80% better.
And in terms of that grappling, how much did you learn out of the title fight with Elena Lunga? Because, I mean, if the average Joe just looks back at that fight, they'll get in their mind, they'll see a case of Elaine just taking you to the ground, tiring you out and grinding you out, taking you to the ground, and that for the whole 5 rounds. How much did you take out of that fight in terms of what to do in future against a solid grappler like Elaine?
Yeah, actually, Alain Ilunga is not a good grappler, is not a good wrestler. The problem was, if you watch our first fight, Alain Ilunga is a stand-up fighter. I know him, he's a stand-up fighter. We fought the first fight, he was kicking, and he just kick and move, kick and move. Now, I just work on my different of kick and punching. My grappling and my wrestling was there, but our focus was to make him, if he kick, I must come close to him. There, he just changed the game plan. He wanted just to take me to the ground. And then the time he was taking me to the ground, he was not doing anything. He was just sitting on top of me, not even punching me. I didn't even get even one single punch on my face. He was just taking me to the ground. Just sit there. I'm the one who tried to submit. I'm the one, but I don't know how the judge, they always count those kind of things. I don't know. He take me to the ground like 5 times, but it's not all the 3 rounds, all the 5 rounds. On the last round, we didn't go to the ground. He was just running away. I was punching him, tried to take me down and defend, but it's a pass. He did win. That's why you see, I did fought the good wrestler like Pierre Botta. Yes. If you see what I do with Pierre Botta, I take him to the ground, I finish him to the ground because I did prepare for everything, my stand-up and the wrestling. But on Alain Ilunga, we are focused on stand-up, punching and kick, and grappling. But they come with wrestling. After that, you see, that's why they give me. And then there's one thing who I noticed in EFC, let me say it here, which EFC, they are not good on those kind of things, like Graham to manage those kind of things. Because I'm the guy who have more fight than all EFC fighters. I got 24 fights. 24 fights, and I'm the one who have more win in EFC. I have 13 win. 13 win and 8 knockout. Win 2 by points, and 3 by points, and I win 2 by submission. The one who have win like me now is Ilunga. The day we fought, he got 13. And then I'm #1 contender of 3 divisions. Featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. But they just give me one fight. Always they was dodging me to give me a title shot. They try to break me up. Like they give me Dino Bagatin. I finished, you know Dino Bagatin, he was a former champion. I finished Dino Bagatin. The big section they I finished all 5 fights straight. Like, and then all kind of fights, there was a bonus. I make the fight of the night, like all those kind of things. But there's no respect for me there in UFC. Like if you watch people from UFC, you see the respect of a fighters. And then on our fights, what is happening now, what you lose my mind on the day of Ilunga. My coach get hurt on before I go to the cage. In the back, yes. In the back. I went to the cage, my coach was not there.
And how did that play with your mind?
They play already with my mind, and then besides that, they were taking me to the doctors. Like, you have an issue of your brain scan or whatever, but I went to the MRI. That is the biggest issue we have now. That's why you see my fight with Kabesa did cancel because of the medical, what they are talking about. I have all the results at my place. Now, I want to know what it can make somebody not to fight. It's a MRI, who is the word of the doctor? Because they're taking me to the brain scan, I went to the brain scan, I have all 3 results.
And they're all fine?
They're all fine. But the doctor, she never even consult me one. It's Daniela. She never even consult me one. She say you can't fight, your brain have a problem. What about the machine? Now we must believe on the weight, who believe on the someone who consult the patient. That is the question now. And then now I'm running off them like, when are you gonna test me? When are you gonna test me? They start giving me excuses. What? Daniela, she says she's not involved anymore. She's not her business anymore. The second doctor, it's Dr. Ali. She said, send me to another doctor. Now they said they booked me on the 16th of November. But I was supposed to fight in September. My fight is canceled on 4 days. How come? Yeah. Because I have all the results. I do have it.
I remember being at the press day,
yes,
and you and Kabesa were everyone was looking forward to the fight.
Yes.
Kabesa wanted to get back into fighting. You wanted to now continue,
yeah,
and come back off that loss. So what's the plan now? New MRI in November, and then if everything is fine?
No, it's not MRI. They say, the doctors say we cannot do a test via Zoom. How come you make a test via Zoom? You not consult me, you not take me physically via Zoom. I don't know what that test. The only thing can stop you not to fight, it's only MRI. If MRI say your brain is damaged, it's damaged. But MRI is fine. The last doctor I went there, He didn't ask me, how old are you? I said, no, I'm turning 41. He's like, you turning 41? Okay, but your brain look like somebody who's 29 age old. I have everything. So even you, and then they just stopped my career just like this. I'm trying to tell them, if they don't want me to fight in EFC, they must tell me, not to bring me some small issue who's not gonna make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because if you go to UFC, you ask them, for a fighter, not stop to fighting, it's only MRI. But my MRI is fine. I do everything. But that's why I ask them, we must stop to do MRI. We must listen to the word of somebody. Why the test they just do on me? Why they don't do to all the fighters? They must do to all the fighters. We must know. I did concussion. It was fine. The last test that they bring me, they put a computer. They say you are slow in the computer. Am I working in IT? Can I bring the guy from IT to put him here to fight? You understand? Because they say you can't press that keyboard fast. What is that? I'm focused. If you punch me, I know the punch is coming. I always move. You can even see my sparring. And then where you can get the risk, it's more in training, more than it's not in the fight. Because the fight, you fight just once, it's finished. But the training, it's worse because we're hitting hard. Like, you understand? It's where you can get more damage. Not on the fight. On the fight of Ilunga, he didn't even punch me one punch. How my brain is not going to work.
No, 100%. I understand.
You see?
So, medical issues aside.
Yeah, that's medical issue of it's fact. I don't know how to say it. I want people just to ask them, what between the word of the doctor and the MRI? If they say the word of the doctor, it's better, we're going to listen to them. But if MRI, they give you a result, because I do have the paper, I have the CD, you can see my brain very well. Everything it's sorted. Okay. But they give me 5 fights. As soon as they know my brain was not good, why they leave me to fight 5 fights, and the 6th one, and my brain is not good.
No, very interesting. So, I mean, that's a question for the EFC. But medical issues aside, for you, 41-year-old fighter, what is the final goal for you before you decide that fighting professionally is no more an option?
No.
What's left for you to achieve?
No, for me, I even talked to the boxing competition. They're still welcome. They're still waiting for me to be welcomed there. But I'm one just to make them until to the point. I'm waiting for the 16th of November. After that, if everything is right, I'm gonna sue those doctors, the one they were saying, because my lawyer, they are there already. Because this is play with me. I make all my effort, train like hard, and then spar, and then 4 days, they just stop you to fight. You see how you feel, how frustration I am. You understand? Because I train, lose my money for hospital, do all the tests, get the vaccine of COVID because of those things, and then you lose all those money. Who's going to pay those money back? And lose sponsors because of them. And we don't get good money, like big money on EFC, you can buy a car, no. We fight EFC because of love of sport. There's no money we can say, no, I buy this house because of EFC. No, there's no money. There's no money. We're fighting because of love of sport, because we're getting money, because we are in TV, sponsor coming, it's where you're making money. On EFC, nobody will tell you you buy a house on EFC, nobody. Nobody. They must not lying, like, because I'm talking, and I want them to hear that. Because I'm fighting EFC now, it's 8 years. It's long. And then I need to have a respect like a legend there, but there's no respect. There's no respect. They can't treat me the way they treat me. I don't deserve these kind of things. And then if you watch on EFC ranking over the world, I'm number 7. Even Ilunga is number 20, far there. You understand? You put heavyweight, I'm number 7. I can't be treated like that. Just like that on the spot, they stop your fight. No.
Yeah, 100%.
You understand? They make me to fight, you know, I'm lightweight. They make me to fight like welterweight, featherweight. And I never even pull out. Every single fight I'm fighting, give them a show, fight of the year, fight of the night, bonus, everything I was getting. And then until now, I still have 5 bonus who they need to pay me. I never get it. I never get even 1 cent.
Wow.
And then just now on the spot, you just stopped me to fight, not to fight. I was preparing. what medical issue they are talking about. They must tell people the medical issue, maybe Anicet does have HIV, whatever, something like that. My MRI is fine. I have everything, I have all the proof at home. If you can go even to the old hospital, they do send me everything, it's fine. That's why I'm asking. To stop somebody to fight, it's the word of the doctor who's MRI. That's why they need to explain to people, because they just say medical issue. Everyone knows now. Everyone is asking now, what is medical issue? They need to tell people which medical issue they are talking about. It's your brain is not working, or it's you have COVID test, or you have HIV. They must explain, because all those things, I have the result, I'm fine.
Well, there you have it. A lot of people were asking the question, I was one of them. Why did the fight get stopped at the very last minute? And this following on the media day, where we all had a conversation with both Anicet Kanyeba as well as with Igeu Kabesa ahead of their fight. We've now heard what it's all about. A lot of questions there that Anicet is also raising in terms of pay, in terms of the way the fighters are treated from a medical point of view. We know these are a lot of issues within the combat sports fraternity. Anicet's raising a lot of them. We're going to carry on. We're going to find out a little bit more about this. But once again, thanks to Anicet Kanyeba.
Okay, thanks.
We look forward to seeing you in the cage once again real soon, and to watch those big eyes start knocking people out.
I think maybe in December, because the fight on November, it's on the 3rd, but I have they need to consult me on the 16th. I can't fight. I'm fighting in December. Because I know myself, I'm good, which means it's their side now. Because I was waiting, if they say today, I'm going for a test. I'm just ready for a doctor, because I know myself, I'm good. It's not me. The doctor now, they need to give me a date for me to be there.